Hi guys, I'm EVM. Welcome back to the channel, and this is the BMW plug-in hybrid, the 745Le. I normally do full electric cars, but I thought, you know what? If someone's going to give me a 70, 80, 90,000 pound car, I'm not going to say no. Yes, it's a plug-in hybrid, better than a self-charging hybrid, but for some people it's a necessity. You can't always own a full electric car. You might not be able to charge at home, you might not be able to afford the car that has the range you need. So I think at the moment they are here to stay, they are a necessity for now. So I'm going to have a look around at this rather beautiful luxury monster. Right, from the front it's got the usual BMW kind of family affair. You've got the twinish headlights and of course this new, even bigger grille, or rather iron gates to a mansion. It is massive, quite unnecessarily so. So you've got the kidney grills, but the kind of kidneys from a whale. It's huge. Not a massive fan of the bigger ones. Sorry, not a massive fan of the bigger grills compared to previous models, but it may grow on me. You've got the metal stripe along the bottom there, which kind of all luxury BMWs or large ones are going for these days, apparently. And it's kind of standard BMW 7 Series. Classy, I would say, yes. It's conservative, it's not too outlandish. You've got the big red band across the back, smaller LED rear lights there, twin exhausts at the back. Build quality is immaculate. Let's have a look at the boot. Unfortunately no Harry's nor Simon's with me today. It's pretty large, and I would say that's about 2 to 2.5 Andes, maybe about 1.5 Simon's. It's a very understated design, which I like. It's what you kind of expect from when you buy a car like this. And typically, a car like this, you're going to be in the back, probably more than you are in the front. And that is where, excuse the mess from my stuff, but look at that interior. I will jump in that in a second, but that is just plush beyond belief. Again, as you would expect. The front, from the passenger side, loads of space. I'll just have a look around briefly now, and I'll jump in so I can show you the interior. Flap down here, so you can charge. Not quite as cool as the e-tron, but functional, and will probably still open in the winter when it's full of snow. Let's have a look inside this car then. Now, you will expect this to be ultra plush. Oh my word, it is. And very comfortable. Let me close this. Surprisingly light, but very immaculately built door. Oh, I like that. Steering wheel. Oh, perfect. Let me just turn the car on so we can show you the... There we go. Display there. HD display, as you'd expect of a car of this type. The version 7 of the iDrive. And that, for me, the iDrive in general is one of the best, if not the best, in-car infotainment units. And I've driven enough, and I include Tesla in that, to be honest, because with that, you've got this iDrive controller here. You can do things without having to look, and that's what I quite like about things like that BMW do. I don't want to have to do this and find, oh wait, which button is it? There it is. When I'm driving, I prefer to be able to do things with buttons by touch. So you are losing a few things, because obviously they're taking them away, but you've still got other options there. What the hell? There's a naked guy walking across the road. Well, that's Oxfordshire for you. The steering wheel, again, pretty much standard top-end BMW things. Really nice switchgear there, nice build. All leather dash for the most part. I don't think there's anywhere on here that you're going to find that's got, you know, cheap to touch. Of course, it's a car that's, yeah, very, very expensive. So it's what you expect out of it. I expect luxury, and you pretty much get that. You've got proper buttons, which I do like, although you do have digital displays as well. So it's a mixture of both. We have got some black gloss around here, which is going to attract fingerprints. For example, you can see it probably on the iDrive controller already, but it's not as bad as others. The touchscreen, and you've got wavy Andy interface as well, so you can do all sorts with it, and I've not played around with that one yet. I've accidentally turned the heated seats on, so my arse is on fire right now. Let me turn that one off. Massive centre console here with the automatic gear stick, all the buttons. You've got various modes: electric, hybrid, sport and adaptive. I'll try them in a second. So it's kind of familiar BMW territory, but and then some. It is really, really nice. I mean, take a look at that seat. It is just a work of art. Something I am not used to, I fully admit, but out of the e-tron and the I-Pace, which I've very recently driven and reviewed, of course, I think I would go for this over them, with the unfortunate fact that this obviously isn't full electric. Let's quickly jump in the back, because most people will be probably driven in this as opposed to driving it. Oh my god. That's a very nice door, if there is such a thing. I never thought I'd hear myself say that. Well, when it comes to interior space, I can only just, I'm not a tall guy, but I can only just reach the front seat. I have that much room here. You've got really nice materials, plenty of storage space, more controls for, of course, your own air conditioning in the rear. Put that back. You've got your own tablet to play around with the various things on, and when you press that, you've got more storage in there. So it's definitely a car that is designed for the people in the rear. In these seats, oh my god, they are beautiful. And you get this as well, both seats, and it gives you various information that the car's doing, and you can, oh, this is going to be good for kids, isn't it? Daddy, can I listen to that? That will no longer be a thing, because they'll be able to do it themselves. I'm not sure how many kids will be in the back of one of these, because if they are very, very lucky. But again, a car to be driven in. Oh, seriously though, guys, this is just beautiful. I could fall asleep in here watching naked guys run past me. I mean, this is a step up of what I'm used to, if I'm being perfectly honest with you guys. A BMW 745Le that starts at, well, I think it's 70 odd grand. Holy moly, it is comfortable. Good god, these seats are nice. I've got so much space. I feel like I'm in first class, and I suppose you should do in a car like this. It is their, or one of their luxury vehicles. I'll be honest, I have no idea if I'm in electric only mode or whether the petrol engine is engaged without looking at that, because it's so quiet, it's impossible to tell. If it wasn't for the display telling me what mode I'm in, and when you want it to, it can fair go as well. Oh no. Alright, you can hear the engine when you put your foot down there. I feel like I'm intruding by being in here. I'm the thing that makes the most noise in this cabin. And that's just my heartbeat. The display is top notch, again expected. I love the iDrive, or I think it's called the 7.0 operating system now or something. It just works beautifully, and I love the BMW thing. I've owned BMWs in the past, and the way they kind of shape the cockpit around the driver is a good thing when you like driving. I hate the phrase driver's car, but they are. It's the best way of putting it. It's a driver's car. If you're not bothered about cars or things like that, then this won't mean anything to you. It's very quick, yes. It's not too bad on the efficiency stakes, but again, it's that expectation. If you wanted to get something that does 50, 60, 70 miles per gallon, you wouldn't be buying one of these, would you? Right, up front, it's got a 3 litre straight 6, which has 280 odd brake horsepower, which is decent in itself. But of course, you've got the electric motor on top of that, which I believe is 111 brake horsepower on top. That's brisk. That is brisk. Now, of course, I have played around with the electric only mode, and that you'll do about 23 miles, I reckon, on full electric from a full charge, of course, which isn't too bad for a hybrid. Typically, it's 15 odd 17 miles, but again, bigger car, bigger battery. It can go up to almost 70 miles an hour on electric only mode, which is quite impressive, I guess. It's not, it's going to take a while to get up there, obviously, in electric only mode, but it is possible. Range will disappear very quickly, of course.
But overall, I can't find a fault with it yet. See, that's the difference between when I drove the e-tron, the I-Pace. You know, full electric cars granted, but I thought these are brilliant, these are so comfortable, I love them. But then we've found some significant annoyances and flaws. So far, I am yet to find any. And if you're in the back, good God, it's like first class. Right now, the key is wirelessly charging on this here. And how cool is that? It's basically a big, it's got its own touchscreen display. You can do all sorts of stuff with it. You know, lock the car, unlock the car, but just little touches, little things like that. I like that. Wonder what it's like from a standstill. No one around. Sports mode. Here we go. Whoa! 40, 50, 60, and I'm gonna have to slow. That was fun. Bit of a delay. You plant your foot. I mean, watch this. I'm gonna plant my foot now. There's a half a second delay there, and I'm in sports mode. The engine's engaged, so I don't think it's the fact it's going to have to turn the engine on and, you know, take it out of hybrid mode. But that's quick. Let's go in a full electric mode. Hand on heart, if this was a full electric car right now and it had 200 odd mile range, let's say comparable to the Audi e-tron, the Mercedes EQC, I would go for this in a heartbeat. I don't know what it is, whether it's the driver focus, the engineering behind it, the iDrive interface, it's just the way it feels, and the price is about the same as the e-tron, as the EQC. It's not like it's a more expensive version. So there, BMW, if you're watching this, make a full electric version of this. It would wipe the floor for me with your competitors, and it would be so smooth, so easy to drive. I wonder what it's like on full electric acceleration. I'm doing 30 miles per hour. Not very fast. Right, so in electric mode, it's actually quite slow. I would say it's probably slower than my Nissan Leaf. But that's not what it's here for, is it? That's what the engine does. So I guess I can't think of it in the same way. It doesn't have to rely on the electric motor to propel it forward. So yeah, a bit of an unfair test, but through town, in electric mode, this is nice. Apparently the sat-nav will even disengage the motor when it enters like an ultra low emission zone in a city. So it'll do it for you. Joined up thinking, you see. I like that, joined up thinking. And I've stuck my hand in various bits. This bit near the bottom of the seat, that's a bit cheap if I'm honest. But that is the only thing I found by looking everywhere in this cabin. I mean, it's just soft touch everywhere, beautiful leather, no rattles at all. It's the quietest car I've been in, and I've been in a lot of electric cars, so I have to admit I'm impressed. I should be, again, I've said it many times, with a car of this price, but when I think about the alternatives in the full electric market, it makes me feel, oh come on guys, in the full electric market, the people who've already done it, you can do better. This is the benchmark in that kind of price bracket. If you're spending 70, 80, 90 grand on a luxury car of this sort of, you know, type, I would go for this, as I said. It's not often you can drive a car and not really find fault with it, other than the humongous price tag. But this is definitely up there for me. If I ever come into a lot of money and this becomes a full electric car, it will be on the to test drive list, absolutely. Fortunately, there's no plans at the moment, from what I've been told, to make a full electric version of this, but it could be coming in 6 months and they wouldn't tell you, would they? So who knows, they may do. It might be on the cards at some point in the future. It has to be on the cards. I just wish they'd hurry up, because the other guys are doing it. Their full electric versions are already out. BMW haven't really started yet. Maybe they're waiting to do it properly, to do an EV that everybody can say, you know what, this is fantastic. Because I was less than impressed with the e-tron, more so with the I-Pace, but I thought they didn't justify the price. This, in a weird sort of way, for a hybrid, does justify its price. The engine it's got, the electric range of about 23, 24 miles, and I've proven that myself. It's it's exemplary. Not everyone can get a full electric car at this stage. So in terms of plug-in hybridness, this is astonishing. A full electric car, I wish it was, but I am not going to say no if somebody gives me a plug-in hybrid, because it is still relevant in electrification of cars. It's a stopgap, it's a way of introducing people to electric. Granted, in this luxury arm of it, it's an expensive introduction, but you get my point. I know there'll be some people that will put in the comments that they hate this car just because it's got a petrol engine, and I get that, but ultimately it's a necessary evil for now. Hybrids will eventually disappear, but we're not quite there yet, so there's probably going to be more hybrid reviews on the way. Right guys, thank you for watching as usual, and I'll see you soon.